Hello, hello. The sound looks like it's good. Welcome to Rich New Design. I am Rich Newberry. Tonight on Adobe After Dark. Does everybody like that? We're going to be working on some After Effects controls, expression controls in After Effects to automate a drop shadow to put on a logo. It's a template file that's used to generate different borders, similar to the one that you see here. Right now, there is if you look down below me, this logo that we have, there is a little bit of a drop shadow on it. And, that was generated with this overlay generator that I've put together, that I've done a bunch of automation to put the logos on, and the expressions that we use for the different types of turbulent noise. That's what I've got the effect. If you look at that noise, and we've actually created some different stingers with the same thing here. I'm going to go ahead and use one of the stingers to pull it on in. We'll change to a different screen here. It automatically, using the expression controls, it automatically goes ahead and creates all of these different stingers. It's set up to do, I think, 30 different stingers and 5 different overlays, and a screen to use for Be Right Back and different things along those lines. So I've put a lot of automation into that, and that's actually what we're going to end up working on this evening. If you do stumble across this, let's see if I've got that. If I've got that ever important like and subscribe. Everybody out there, like and subscribe. Come back by. I'm gonna be doing these lives with Adobe. I like this. I like the title, Adobe After Dark. It means nothing. It just means I'm up late doing this work, and if somebody comes in and says hi, that would be fantastic, and help get me through the evening, help keep me motivated, because everybody else is asleep at this time. I don't know where you are. Let me know in the comments if it's already played. Check out some comments, put some on there. Ring the bell. You got to ring the bell so you get notified when I go live. But let's go ahead for people that are coming in. We'll go ahead and we'll get started here with the Adobe. Let me bring us back over, and I'll use another one of these transitions here. I'm gonna glass shatter. Use the glass shatter effect. The CC shatter gets used to put this one together. Oh, check that out. Check that out. I need to add some sound to each of those. That would make them work a little bit better. But we're going to come over here, and let me go ahead and bring up the project. In the project, we've basically I put together 3 different folders. We've got an assets folder, we've got a render folder, and we've got an edit folder. Down here in the edit, I've got there's a logo for the customer to pull, for us to get the information from the customer, pull their logo in, and that's what we're going to end up modifying with this. And there's another, this actual composition that we're looking at right now, which I've just put some things on here so that this is the one that if you're working on, you've got a couple of controls here. Everything, all these different patterns. In all the render, there's 36 different render files. So with all 36 of those, you've got this standard setting. So we can come through here and we can change our main color that we're using, and it'll end up changing in all of the renders that we have. Let me go with a green, and I kind of like that. A green and a purple. Let's just throw those out there. And then, and those were just color expression controls, just like I'm going to add in a second here. We're going to add a checkbox, and I'll show you where. But we've also got a border pattern. So we've got the swirly right now, and this was the fractal noise, turbulent noise that I've got put on here, and I can in a slider to increase the size, decrease, and I just put something behind to let me know, hey, I've gone too small. But let me bring this back up to about where I was at. And this is just a preview, the controller window. I think I have one other. I think I have one other image, and I can go ahead and let me scale this up. So just so you're not having to look at my graphic the entire time, we'll put this. We'll put up the ever popular poop emoji, and we're going to use him. You can see that once we've. Let me get back over there. I need to get a little bit of space with him. Let me bring him down so he's inside of this. Here we go. So it's automatically updated using all the organization in the file and everything, putting the composition together. But so now we can see what we've got there. Now on this emoji, and it showed up a lot better when I had mine on there, so we may switch back. But I'd like to have a drop shadow on there, and I want to be able to control whether or not I put the drop shadow on up here in this controller. So under our controls, and I'm going to go ahead, I'll end up locking this window when we get in place, but I want to right click, and let's come down here to expression controls, and we're going to choose a checkbox control, because we just have a yes no. All we need is a yes no checkbox. Is it a drop shadow or not? Now I may add other controls on here to handle that drop shadow, but for now let me go ahead and rename this, and I'm going to say logo drop shadow, just so I know what it is later on. Let me bring that on over. Now let's come to our logo. Now we will end up dragging whoever's PNG into here and actually putting it onto this screen. And so I don't want to actually apply this to the image itself. I'm gonna just right click out here, and I'm gonna create a new adjustment layer. So I'm gonna put the changes on the adjustment layer, and that way whatever is below them, whatever image I actually put up there, that adjustment layer will take care of it. So on this adjustment layer, let me come over here to my effects, and I'm just going to find the drop shadow, and let me throw that drop shadow on the adjustment layer. And we don't really see anything on him right now. There, let's start to, and I'm actually going to just bring it over there. I like a nice separation there with the drop shadow. And just like with the drop shadow, this could be with a glow. This could be with any number of different things that you could put on here that we're just going to turn on and off over in that one spot where we have the control. And that way we can set those things up ahead of time while we're looking at it against the background. So we've got our drop shadow here, and let's come down to our effects and to our drop shadow, and what we want to actually look at here is our effect opacity. The effect opacity is 0, meaning it's not going to have the effect. Let me go ahead and just bring that down to 0. We don't see the effect. Up to 100 we have the effect. So you can actually set the opacity on that, and that is what we're going to use that other control for. So let's come back to our controls, and I'm going to lock this panel up here, toggle viewer lock, so it leaves this in place. Come back over here to my logo image, and I'm going to alt click to open up the expressions. Alt click on the stopwatch, opens up the expression window. So this is where you can access code and different things along those lines. And what we want to do is we want to pick whip up to this checkbox. And I know you can't see that, but that gave me comp options control. It gave me the address, and it has assigned that to it. I'm going to have to add into my system here the zoom on the mouse. I haven't bothered to put all that together. I'm more just testing this overlay and this automation that I'm putting in here. So we've got the now what we're wanting to set is we're wanting to set this as either 0 or 100, but the checkbox value is either 0 or 1. So what we want to do is we want to hit dot, and you start typing value. So we want the value times 100. And that should do it, because value is either going to be a 0, which 0 times 100, 0, or 1. 1 times 100 is 1. So the opacity should be set to 0 or 100 based on that checkbox. Let me click off of this, and now you see let me zoom in. You can see that shadow. Now that's not checked, so once this goes into play, hey, look how it disappeared. Let me come over here to my controller. And actually, I'm going to go into the controller so we're looking at it. Because that's why I designed this, so I'd be able to see how this was going as it was going. Let's click that. There we go. Let me see if we need it. It doesn't actually need it. I'm going to change our logo to and let me just minimize this. I'm going to go back to my logo because the poo emoji is just not doing it for me. It's not doing it. So right now we've got it set. You can see how setting that thing turns it on and off, and it's kind of a big one. So, but I can always change that if I need to. But I kind of like that. If I turn it off, that looks flat. That doesn't really appeal to me. I turn that on, and that looks better. So, just by adding this control and using an adjustment layer, now let's build upon that. Because what else can we control? We were talking about how that drop shadow's a little bit big. Let's go ahead and let's control all of this drop shadow over here on this controller. What else do we have? We've got our distance. Distance is what I've got set to 31 here. The distance is something we want to be able to adjust. I'm gonna come up here to my effects controller. I want to add another expression control, and on this one, should we just do a slider control? Yeah, let's just do a slider control, and we're going to set that slider, assign that to distance. It's at 0 right now. Now, just like we did before, we're going to hit Alt and the stopwatch. Alt on Windows. Is it the I don't even know what it is on a Mac. I use Windows, so I haven't had. I used a Mac before. It's the Apple key. Command key on a Mac. The Alt, or no, maybe no. That's the control. I don't friggin' know. I should stop talking about Mac because I'm talking about something I don't actually know. But we're gonna go ahead and Alt click, and so we've got our pick whip that we're gonna pull up here to our slider, and is it just dot value? Let's just go with that. And let's see what we got when I click off of it. Hey, it looks like there's nothing there. Let's increase this value. Okay. It's not getting updated until... I don't like the way that happens. Let me look over here and see how this works. Okay, this feels more dynamic. But so I can set that. There we go. I can set that at 25. And so now we're able to turn it on and off, and what it's set to. And we can change those two settings. Let's see, is there anything else that we wanted to opacity? If we did need it darker, if we didn't have enough contrast and we needed to make it darker against the background, then I guess the opacity we could turn up. And actually, I want to rename this to drop shadow distance. There we go. And it should still... Oh, see, I did not know if it would automatically, and look, it didn't. Oh, it did. It did pick up on it. It's because I'm in the actual thing itself. Oh, it's because it's turned off. It's because I had it turned off. The checkbox controller. It's got all the automation, but this will allow for everything to just be done right here within this spot. Makes things a lot more controllable. And as I was talking about with the project, so by just having these two that you actually set up, it will then end up generating... Oh, I'm in the assets. Let me go to my render. It will generate all these different stingers. I'll go ahead and I'll bring one of them up. Roll up scale from center. Stingers are just with an alpha. They're 3. I think these are 4-second. I think these are 4-second movie files. I end up putting these out as QuickTime files for use in OBS. And these are the ones I'll actually pick that roll-up one that we just saw, because I've installed all of these on this. I'll come to the smaller screen. So here, there's the roll-up. That's what you just saw here, and it produces one for all these different types. I've got the puzzle pieces. I'm going to start offering these over on Fiverr, and you start to look at, okay, if I'm doing enough of these to make decent money at it over on Fiverr, I want to be able to make this manageable and something that can actually generate a whole lot of content for the customer, just with being able to put in that an hour of work or less, so that the customer is happy with getting a bulk of work, a lot of service, and I'm happy because the rate is at an acceptable point. Which is what you always have to think about. How many of these can I do over what period of time if I do end up having success with sales? So that was automation. That was 20 minutes in. I'll have to come back through and actually down in the description of the video, I'll have to put some notes, cut this thing up. Although it's live, and I don't know that they I'd have to take it down, and I don't like to edit the lives. I just like to put this out. So that was kind of fun. Now the other thing, and I can actually just close these out. I love these. this paper. It looks so good, and these are just built in. These are just built in. You've got so much built into to After Effects, and that logo just looks good against that screen. Let me bring this. Oh, there we go. Bring it back down. All right. Now the other thing that I have to take care of tonight is I'm looking at this over on OBS and seeing how sharp that looks. Uh, I'm not in a big hurry. We don't have anybody live right now. A little bit about who I am, and since you are here, if you have been watching to this point, I appreciate it. Once again, let me make sure that I've got click that like and subscribe, and click the bell so you know when we go live. Because if you do have questions, if I've got any answers, I will, or I can find a good link to a video. I'd love to share that, because everything that I'm doing here, all of the different things with After Effects, YouTube and the Adobe Evangelist. That's where I've learned the majority of this. After Effects, Cinecom.net. If you've found this looking for After Effects or Premiere Pro, you're bound to have come across Cinecom.net. So you know who I'm talking about. Jordy, Janik, love those guys. Film Riot. Film Riot's another good one that's gonna have all the information that you're gonna need when it comes to really starting to get into these. Video Copilot has great tutorials on their stuff. Flow Motion, another really good one. I actually have a short. If you go to my page, there's a short on the page that has the top five sites that Ben Marriott, Adobe in a minute. Can't remember Jay's name, but those were really good. But there is a short that has 5 of them, and there are links to them in the description. If I don't end up coming back in here and putting into the description, who knows if this will, how many people will actually view. Live, you can end up having some viewers. You can end up having some people come in and all that, and have some interaction, and that's what I'm hoping to get. Because I end up having to stay up at night and doing this, and sometimes the talking helps me work through this. When you're outside the box doing art and doing different things along those lines, you just try to find those times when your brain is doing its best. Okay, a little bit of coffee. The fine people at Cointelegraph. Let me see how that's showing up on the. Yes. Coffee mugs. I watched their. I'll probably be live streaming on Tuesday, noon Eastern United States. Noon on the East Coast, Eastern United States. Cointelegraph. I'm going to be live streaming as a character, as an animated character on this channel, while watching their market report show. I watched that show, and that's actually I won some swag from their store, and got a couple of coffee mugs, and I was kind of happy about that. But I want to watch their live stream because I'd like to actually put together. I've got some ideas for some stingers for them to use, because they're using a skin right now, but I think they could stand to have a lot more customized work, a lot more conducive to it. They could use some branding right now. You can tell that they're using an off-the-shelf set where they just have their logo in the corner. And there's nothing wrong with that. but the one that I've got here, at least, the one I've put together with these logos in this background, it actually has a lot more to it, and I think you can do a lot more customization with it. But and they've got some stuff that I could really work with. So I'm looking forward to that. But one of the things, as I mentioned, this is to be going over on Fiverr. This entire After Effects, this project, this template. The template's set up so that once you've got your changes, you're gonna come over here. The first thing I always do, because when setting all these, I'm gonna end up moving to AE render. The next thing that I to do is to render all of these, and the nice thing about automation, because by just setting these settings, I can then render all of my files out, and they're all going to have the same feel. They're all going to have the same settings, the same results, and put all those out. And I have gone through creating those and rendering in a batch here within the render queue, and it's not bad for the 36 files. It's actually only taking about 7 minutes. I got a liquid cooled machine here with 64 gig running there in memory and everything, so I'm doing good with that. But to come over here, one thing I noticed, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select this one, and I'm going to export it to start with to the render queue. And just so I can come here, and I've created a template, OBS Pack Movie, because I want to make sure that I'm using the Apple 444 for I've got to have RGB and alpha, because these are being put out like the border right next to me here. These are put out as overlays. These are movie files, QuickTime files. They've got transparency, so just like the stingers do and everything else. So I've set up that. The other thing is I've got to create. Let's go to live stream, assets, overlays, and I'm going to make a new folder called New Overlays. I'll get into that folder. And then I go ahead and render, because and the reason I do this on the, and I may end up using this as kind of I'm going to clean this up a bit and give this to the customer for kind of okay, you can see what your logo looks like against it. You can see the color pattern. Either this or this other background one that I use for Be Right Back and some other things along those lines. I may end up using that, but let me go ahead and render that out, and we'll see if you hear the little beep. See what we've got set up for the. There we go. There we go. Now let me get into my project. So if somebody ends up buying stingers, we can select the 5 of them that they get, or if they buy the whole package, because I'm putting out, we're doing the whole package, which is 36. You got 30 stingers, 5 borders, and a background. And so if I just highlight all of these things, I'm actually gonna I don't think it matters, but I don't like that they're selected and the other one isn't, and I just pull all those. Have all those. Come up here to export, render, add to the render queue. They're all here in the render queue. We're going to pick that OBS Pack MOV. They've all got their name. Let's go ahead and let's render. And I'm going to let that go, because that's got I think it's 6 or 7 minutes, but to put out all these files. but it's throwing them all together. Yeah, it's 36 files. It's already through four of them, so it does a good job with that. But that way, uh, you're just pulling in. You're just selecting the color scheme. You're pulling in the logo. You're setting the different style, whether it's terrain, swirly, the different noise pattern in there, so that you've got a lot of customization. And then all those stingers, every one of the stingers can come in from from left to right, right to left, top to bottom, bottom to top, or center scale up. I thought that gave each of them versatility, and then they all leave in a different manner, one manner or another. I'm gonna use another one of those stingers while I'm waiting on this. Let's see which one do I want to use. I did the puzzle. I did the smoke. I did the. Well, we got stars. Let's do the stars. Let me go to this screen. Bam. Oh, look, there's stars. Uh, these are the different that we've put together right now. Once these pull up and all these have gone through, uh, I'm going to go ahead and close this. And then, as I mentioned, if anybody looked at the comments, I'm going to do a little bit of video editing, possibly. Uh, Actually, I might add some more customization into this because there's some more that can be put into there, and I'm just noticing how much I'm looking back and forth between the two, and because I'm also trying to judge how this live stream goes. Oh, and then I've got let me switch over to the smoke, and now we'll. And here we are. Here we are. This is the thumbnail camera, but working on the camera and working on the background here. Uh, this image. This was my logo, and Jessica, my wife, she works with me. She does a lot of the art and a lot of the other stuff. But she had said, hey, you could put your logo on that brick wall photo that you had and everything. And I did this in Photoshop. It used the blending options and, the threshold to pull the blacks and whites and everything. But the thing I don't know in Photoshop to do, because I'm still if I were in After Effects, I'd have known to grab all of the different ground areas, using the extract to pull those out to create a displacement map, so that I could actually have those displaced, which would give it that 3D, the 3D look, because it's, right there. There should be a little deformation in each one of these spots. That's and it was flow motion. I mentioned that one earlier. That that gave me that information that in order to really sell the effect, you needed to have the changes. So each one of those, and that's why I'm not happy with this. But I haven't. I may bother to go ahead and try to see exactly how to do that over in After Effects, or I know how to do it in After Effects over in. We are 32 of 36 files that it's just about done. And so if this were a customer, after about 7 minutes, 8 minutes, I think it's going to take total of time elapsed. Yeah, it's been under 5 minutes. Uh, in that amount of time, uh, moving it over to Media Encoder, to allow Media Encoder to work on it, and that way I can actually continue work in other areas. That would be one thing to do. Uh, I'm not as worried about it, because there's worse problems to have if I'm suddenly inundated and have so much rendering to do that I have to worry about freeing up those resources. I can. I'm not worried about that. But what I would like to do, because organizing these, I'm going to use Google Sheets to enter in the information for the orders for what items they want to get, because they might not want to get all of the borders, all of the different things. It may be somebody that's just ordering stingers, and so they'll get the pack of 5 stingers that are all the starburst, 5 of them coming in from each one of the different directions, the center, or the 4 different directions. So they may just want that. And I'd like to, there's a batch file. You can actually, a command line operator for rendering through the render queue, AE render. And I was looking at that. So ultimately, I'll probably have that do the Google Sheet, create the batch file with the customer number to then, and create the folder, possibly running everything out on the cloud using Google Drive. That should put everything in place and make it so it's almost as automated as it can be. You're obviously going to be pulling stuff into Photoshop, pulling the logo in, cleaning it up if you have to, if it's something that's got a background but you think it would work out better if it were actually transparent and they couldn't get you the transparent. You can go ahead and open that up. So you give yourself 5 to 10 minutes to do some Photoshop work in it. And then the rest of the setup is another 5 minutes over here once you've got that logo pulled in. And then you go and have yourself coffee or anything else that you use to relax or get through the night or anything along those lines. I knew I'd have a couple of logged errors that I'm not concerned with. All the files have been working, but that was 7 minutes and 41 seconds, I believe it was. That was the last number that I was looking at. So for those 36 files, and these borders are 30-second loops. 30-second loops that go through. They do end up having 2 layers because I fade just the one with the other border because of the way it comes together. But these are 30-second movie files. They're like 60 meg, 62 meg or something along those lines. If I go over to let's go over and let's check out and see in my live stream overlays, new overlays. Let's see what we've got. New overlays. There are our 36 files, and they are of a green nature. I could pull one in. I'll replace the smoke that I'm using here. I will actually, in OBS, dynamically go ahead and come in here to overlays, and I will replace the smoke. I will pick the smoke stinger that is coming up from the center. Scale up center smoke. Here we go. And it's got to be 1,000 milliseconds so that the change happens in 1 second. Let's run through this and see how. And that's one. And this, click like and subscribe. It knows that you should be doing that. I'll make it come up again. There. I hope this doesn't offend anybody. All right, we'll get rid of that. Get rid of this. All right, we're at the 40-minute mark. We've gone through and created and actually tested it within here, I want to close my folders up so the next time I work in this file it will be nice and clean. Close out my right, and this is the actual template. So we added drop shadow, turning it on and off, and the drop shadow distance. We ended up adding those. We could go ahead and add that. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's add the drop shadow color. You didn't think we were going to do that, did you? It's a color control. And I'm going to rename it drop shadow color. And let me smoke wisp my way back over here so you can see what's going. Oh, I have no idea. I turned on a video. That's what you heard. I hit the button in my earpiece and turned it on. Okay, so we've got drop shadow color. And let me come back to let's go back to that logo. Open up that logo with that adjustment layer that we've got. Let's go back over to drop shadow color. Here is our shadow color. And just like we did before, it's going to be an alt click on the stopwatch. And I am going to pick with this to there. Now do I need value? I probably do. Let's put it like this, and let's just double check. Yep, there we go. So I can change the shade of my, and I think just like the other one, it's live here. I'm going to bring it to black. There we go. But if I wanted it to be a white, just to give me some sort of a cleaner definition and everything, then that can work. But I'm going to come down here. So we've got our color. And then, was there anything else? The other direction and opacity. I'm gonna add them all. That way nothing changes here, although it'll just be in the customer's file. I don't know whether or not I wanna add all of that up there. I'm gonna hold up for a second. Is it possible to put a folder? Yeah. Because we can do the angle, and sometimes I have used two drop shadows to give me the contrast that I need between it and the background. And so I'm going to hold off there. I'm going to leave it at that. So we've got our adjustment layer. Let's go ahead and let's save. And I think we are good. We are good with that. Now, let's see. I'm thinking I just want to take myself a little bit of off-camera break here, but I feel like listening to some since this is all the stream, this After Dark, since the efforts I'm making here in After Effects have to do with getting a job and actually bringing in work, I think the first thing that I'll play will be Cover Letter, aka We Need Work by We Enjoy Every Day. Uh, this this was a live recording that Jessica and I made, and then I just used Premiere Pro to. Well, you can see there was masking, there's animation going on, this character animator pulled in. Uh, the audio was just a live cell phone recording that used a lot of effects off of Premiere Pro to clean up the vocal enhancement, to do some EQing on it, and then to add some reverb to give it kind of an interesting feel. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'll still be here to talk. And if we don't see anybody, I don't see anybody anywhere right now. And what I'd like to do is, if you are watching to this point and everything, leave a comment, right? Make sure you click like and all that. Hit subscribe. We're gonna be doing more of these. I'm gonna be putting out OBS tutorials, short tutorials, 2 3 minute videos uh, on how to install these borders, overlays, how to install and use these stingers, uh, the support that the customers are going to need if somebody ends up buying these that I produce. I want to go ahead and have all those videos produced on the page, and so the instructions will be there. But while I take myself a little bit of a break, uh, yet I'm still going to be here. I may turn the microphone down. I want to listen to Cover Letter, aka We Need Work. That's those are my daughters, the cartoon versions of them. There's an alien from one of our shows. Thank you, and good night. That was off of Weed Cartoon. We Enjoy Every Day. That is that is one of the pages. I'll go over to it. We've been doing a lot of YouTube shorts. You can see them here in this list. This one, this was our last
You're
one.
starting to fail and you're feeling sad.
Well, smoking some pot might not be too bad.
And if at first you don't succeed,
Just roll up a joint and smoke up some weed.
because the important thing is that you try.
So reward yourself by getting high.
Well, that's your stoner pep talk for the week.
Brought to you by the people who'll find any excuse to get high.
Be sure to click like and subscribe.
Yeah, and go watch the pilot episode. It's like 11 minutes long. We put a lot of work into that thing.
Yeah, go watch the pilot.
See ya.
Bye. If you're starting to fail and you're feeling
Oh
sad,
man, I gotta stop that.
Smoking some pot might not be too bad.
I gotta stop that. And I gotta get back over to my channel. Hey, look how good that looks. That's the other thing that I've been noticing. It it apparently all matters as to whether or not how your thumbnail looks. Thumbnails have a lot to do with whether or not you get views, and apparently they do put my stuff out with the thumbnails and they get hit. But I've only begun doing that over here on this page. I've been doing that with all the shorts that I've been putting over on the We Enjoy Every Day page. Now, I'm not sure why I have as much friggin' noise on this mic as I do. I'm wondering. Let's see. Let me turn this back up. Is it still hot? Hot mic. Hot mic. Hot mic. I hope it hasn't been an issue. But it's 51 minutes in. If anybody's still watching, that's fantastic. That's freaking fantastic. So these are some music videos. I'm going to play another music video. These were cover songs. I was asked by a friend of mine who was doing an album. He was doing a Doctor Hook cover album. Had a bunch of artists put together to put together these cover songs of Doctor Hook songs. And so he asked me to do one of Get My Rocks Off. And then, because my daughters do a lot of songs with me, asked me to do one of Everybody's Making It Big But Me with them. And I rewrote all of the lyrics to it and redid it as a pop song. And the original song had all sorts of references to Elton John and Alice Cooper and all these people from the 70s and everything. And so I changed it all up so it's all more modern and everything. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna play that while I take this break here, and I'm gonna try to turn this mic off, and hopefully it won't be coming on through while you're going through this. So here we go.
Because she sings so fine, and I hear Katy Perry has a clothing line, and Billie Eilish sings for movies, and I just sing for me. Oh, everybody's making it big but me. Everybody's making it big but me. Everybody's making it big but me. Shakira sings at the Super Bowl, but the shower that's for me. Oh, everybody's making it big but me. Well, I hear that Kelly Clarkson's got a couple kids, a little boy named Remington and a girl named Rose. And Pink has got 2 children, and Beyonce has 3. But I am only 9 years old, that's just too young, you see. Oh, everybody's making it big but me. Everybody's making it big but me. Well, I have got a microphone, there's a piano in front of me, but everybody's making it big but me. I tried to wear a convoy like Madonna did, but that just looks real stupid, cause I'm just a kid. I even put a meat suit on, but that just hurt my dad and mom, and everybody's making it big but me. Oh, everybody's making it big but me. Everybody's making it big but me. I'd like to head out to LA, but my parents say I have to stay, so everybody's making it big but me. Everybody's making it big but me. Everybody's making it big but me. Well, I have got a microphone, there's a piano in front of me, but
That was my bad. I hit pause.
oh, everybody's making it big but me. Everybody's making it big but me. Oh, blah 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 blah. Everybody's making it big but me. Everybody's making it big but me. Everybody's making it, everybody's making it, everybody's making it, everybody's making it.
with the kids. Yep. Let me get back to my channel. I'm trying to dynamically, while I'm in the background here, handle creating some more stuff over in OBS. So let's see what else we have here. We've got a 5-minute cartoon. Now these are characters created from Adobe. I did not create the popcorn character, the soda pop character. I voiced them. My wife voiced soda pop and voiced candy, and I voiced the ticket and popcorn, and I think some of the guide fish, the good fish and the bad fish that were on the shoulders. But while I continue to work here in OBS, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna play this cartoon. If you do come into the chat, I don't see any viewers right now, but do say something, say hello in the chat. If anyone does show up, trust me, I'll be calling you out. So here is the countdown crew off to the movies. Kids, this is not for kids. So if there are some bad words in this, but they're cartoons, so just be fine.
Hey, I'm popping corn. It's Saturday night. You know what that means?
Werewolves?
No, dummy. It's fucking movie night. Yeah!
Awesome movie night. Yeah.
I'm so relieved. I don't like werewolves.
Let's go see what's playing. Oh, I don't see anything listed.
You're looking at porn.
I'm touching myself.
Oh, I'm popping corn. I got some lube.
Yay!
Jerk it! Jerk it! Jerk it!
3 minutes later.
That was a good one.
Now can we see what's playing?
I want to see an action film.
I want a comedy.
I want to touch myself some more.
Yay!
Right, yeah.
7 minutes later.
Oh, that time was weird.
Okay, now can we get serious?
The keyboard is all sticky.
Oh, yeah, that was me. I did that.
Fuck it. Let's just go and decide when we get there. Yay!
Yeah.
Ah, it's fucking movie night. Yay!
Movie night.
Yeah. Oh, I'm popping corn. Someone's gonna shove their hand in my box and they're gonna eat me. Yeah, it's fucking movie night. I'm popping corn. I'm popping corn.
I'm going to get sucked dry.
Yay! It's fucking movie night.
I just know someone's gonna tear up my wrapper and run their tongue all over me.
Oh yeah! I'm fucking
Oh,
popping
yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I'm gonna get split in two, man.
Oh, you got lumber in there. This is awesome.
corn.
that's so hot,
yeah!
yeah.
I'm fucking popping corn. It's movie night. Yeah!
Yay.
Oh, fuck. It's the cops.
Better not pull over
Why?
because all the weed and pills. Yay! Weed and pills. Weed and pills. Weed and pills. Oh, I'm popping corn.
Yay! I'm filled with whiskey.
And I brought some ecstasy. Hell yeah.
Oh, and we've all been doing shrooms, don't you remember? Oh man, I'm popping corn.
Oh, I do remember. That's right. I'm in a real pickle here. The responsible thing to do is pull over, but we'll all go to jail. Whatever shall I do? You can't let your friends go to jail. You'll have to outrun the police. What about you, man? I don't care, man. All I know is these shrooms are really starting to kick in. Can you feel that, man? Oh, dude. I can feel it. We're gonna be fine. I can see the exit portal.
Portal?
What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, I'm popping corn.
No, just hang on.
Oh, look out for that truck.
What the fuck? Are we flying?
I think we're dead.
I don't know, man. But these shrooms are sure starting to kick in. Can you feel that?
Oh, yeah.
This is cool. Oh. What do we do now?
Weed and pills?
Weed and pills!
Weed and pills! Weed and pills!
pills!
Ah, I'm popping corn.
Don't want to start it over. There we go. There we go. That was the countdown crew. That was the countdown crew. Okay. The countdown crew. There's others. There's a Cinco de Mayo celebration. Bunch of different cartoons that we put out and everything. But we've passed the 1 hour mark. I'm sorry that nobody came in while it was live, but if you have watched to this point, yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't like and subscribe if you've already watched to this point. That should just be a given. Let me turn the studio mode on here, so I should be able to just click like and subscribe. You know, I need it. If you've watched to this point, hit subscribe. I got to get 100 subscribers to be able to get a name for the page. I give people a link to the page, and it's blah 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 blah. And in order to have rich new design or something along those lines, I got to get 100 subscribers. So subscribe. Even if it's just taking pity on me, subscribe just so I can get to that point where I can have a name. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna call it an evening. Thank you so much for anyone who has watched here. I'm looking forward to bringing Adobe After Dark to the masses each night. I don't know. I do this stuff every night, so I might just start live streaming the work every night. So thank you everybody for just being such fantastic sports. This last screen is the thanks for watching that I just threw together during that cartoon using one of the backgrounds that I'd used earlier, so it should match this border that we have up here. Everyone have a fantastic evening. Juneteenth, Sunday. It was Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to the fathers out there. Probably should have said that at the beginning of the thing, but I'm not that good at this. I was doing other stuff, but it was June 19th, Juneteenth, a federal holiday, observed actually tomorrow, I guess the 20th, but I think it was the 20th, but Monday is the observance of it, Juneteenth. So it's federal holiday. Get on YouTube if you don't have to work, and go look at all my videos and give me some numbers. Help me out. Hit that bell so you find out when I go live. Everybody, thank you for watching, and have yourself a Merry Christmas.